What's going on, y'all? It's another episode of Whatever Trevor Podcast. I got my man Saxl Rose in here. Most of y'all heard his music. Y'all just don't know. He's worked with everybody from Chris Brown, Wiz Khalifa, Paramore, right?
Yeah.
Paramore, Jelly Roll. You name it, the list is extremely long. And getting even longer, right?
Hey, man, listen. Yeah, we going up.
Is there anybody that you haven't worked with yet? That's like...
Yeah. As far as that I want to work with. There's a band named the band Camino that I'm like super into, and I just covered one of their songs. I've been into them for a long time, but I just covered one of their songs, and they like commented and stuff like that, and they're coming on tour, so I really would want to play with them just from like a standpoint of I'm just a legitimate fan of the music. As far as artists go, like outside of that, I mean, to be honest with you, bro, like anyone at this point that I do end up working with, it's just like I'm cool with it, like whoever, because like the people that I felt like I really did like that was on my actual list of like I want to work with these people in some capacity. At this point, I've worked with them.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying. So I'm just at this point, I'm just happy. Whatever happens, I'm happy with it. Like
definitely.
Yeah.
Wherever I could, if tagging them in this, they see that again. Yeah, definitely,
absolutely,
yeah. So what's the band name called?
The band Camino.
Okay, gotcha. I
really dope.
I gotta check them out.
They're really good.
Yeah. So this wasn't one of the questions, but this was killing me.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck did you get the? Because sax, you play the sax, but was the Rose part a twist on Axl Rose, the guitar player, because you can play the guitar too?
Yeah. So what happened was like on Twitter, when it was Twitter, back in the day, me and I used to play in a band called Listen for the Light. It was like a bunch of guys from Havre de Grace, and we were playing like hard rock metal stuff. So I was playing guitar in that band. So we had this thing where we were in the studio and we were just like, just being dumb. And anytime someone would say like a phrase or just like something funny, someone in the band would be like, oh, like you should change your Twitter name to that. So we had a lot of really dumb Twitter names for a long time. Like it could literally be anything. Like someone said something about Steve Harvey, and then I was like, Paul, my drummer, I was like, you should change your Twitter name to Steve Harvey. So he was like Steve Harvey for like a year, just cause. So we just kept going through these like dumb Twitter names. Like I was Light Skin Excellence. I was Chill Smith. Like I just had a bunch of really dumb Twitter names. And when the sax thing kind of started going crazy, I was changing my name to just different sax puns. So there was a movie, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day there was a movie called Max Keeble's Big Move.
Yeah.
So I changed my name to Sax Keeble. So I was like Sax Keeble, and then it was something else. And then I remember like just chilling. I was like, I gotta think of like a different sax name. And I just started, I went on my phone and just Googled like different axe words. And one of the things that popped up was Axl, like, but not Axl Rose, but just like the word Axl. I remember I was like, oh, Sax, and then it just hit me at once. I was like, yo, Saxl Rose, that'd be like hilarious. But it was never meant to be my actual stage name. I just thought it was a funny Twitter name. But I did a cover of Ain't It Fun by Paramore, and it went viral because she saw it, the lead singer, and then like people just started calling me that, so it just kind of stuck. But it was never like I'm Saxl Rose, this is what it is. It just kind of happened to be. It just
kind of stuck.
Yeah, it just stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's cool, man. But in Paramore, man, I remember when I first heard Ain't It Fun, man, I probably played that song for like 2 years straight. It was over, even if the playlist was rap music only.
Yeah. Still,
it was on
it. It's a hit. I play that song now. Like, that song
it's funny. That's even on my nephew's highlight tape of basketball. One of them is that song. So I was just like, damn, they hit everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So man, born and raised in Havre de Grace, or
pretty much. My dad lived in Baltimore in a town in Dundalk called Turner Station, and a lot of my family lived and still lives there. So my parents weren't always together when I was younger, so my time was kind of split. I went to school in Havre de Grace, but on weekends and like spring break and stuff like in like certain holidays, I'd be in Baltimore. So my time was pretty much split in half between Havre de Grace and Baltimore until they got back together and we all like moved in together when I was in like high school.
Okay, got you. Yeah. Nah, that's cool.
Yep.
You don't hear that story. That's a good story too, man. Because most of them be like, yeah, my parents split and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, relationships, it happens, you know what I mean? But like, they held it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Shout out to the parents. Y'all got a good one here, man. Did you get some of that from your dad or your mom, or?
Yeah, a lot of it for sure. Okay. Yeah, as far as like the music goes, yeah, for sure. My dad was on the road for a long time. He was in a band. Still, me and him still play in a lot of different groups together now and stuff like that. And even when I do my own shows, I try to like bring him out to do like a song or something like that. But yeah, him definitely from the music end, and even my mom, she was a DJ at Havre de Grace, Coakley's.
Yeah.
The restaurant before it was Coakley's, it was called Tim's Tavern. She was the DJ for Tim's Tavern.
Dang, what was her DJ name?
DJ Lisa.
Oh man, yeah, that's my mom's name too.
Really? Yeah. So she when she stopped DJing, she had like a huge case of CDs, and I remember she literally was like, "You and your brother, if you want any of these CDs, like you guys can listen to it." And like I remember she had like Big Pun in there, Capital Punishment, and she had like the Offspring, and she just
had everything.
Anything that was popular in the 90s, like Tupac, like she really loved Pac and stuff like that. So she introduced me to like a lot of like Limp Bizkit, a lot of those songs like she put me on too. And my dad was put me on to like all the old school R&B and stuff like that.
You had the best of both worlds. Because my dad tried to shove Tupac constantly in my face, and I was like, all right, but my grandma, my mom, they was like Biggie and Jay-Z fans and like Temptations and all that. And then my aunt was the one that like used to drop me off listening to Celine Dion and Gloria Estefan and all that. And I hated it back in the day, but now I'm like, I know them songs like the back of my head.
Yeah,
so
that's how I feel about country music. I used to hate it when I was young, and my mom still gives me a hard time. She took me to a country concert like when I was young, and I hated it. And now like it's just I have such an appreciation for just all music, and there's certain songs. To me, it's like anything else. There's always like in every genre, there's gonna be songs that you think are like corny or like you. But like, there's so many country songs I love like right now, and I think back to that. I'm like, man, I wish I would have like just sat and tried to enjoy it. But it got in there somehow. So,
I know my aunt took me to a Casey and the Sunshine Band concert.
That's hard.
That's
hard.
I was like, what am I even doing here?
Yeah.
I was young. I'm like, what am I? But now it's like when I hear that song and I tell people like, yo, I went to see them when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like what? You got to see them? I'm like, yeah, right at Hershey Park.
Yeah, that's a wild story.
Yeah, so all right, man. So let's get into it. My man Saxl Rose, genius. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get something popping one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was you kind of answered this a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you did, but who was the first big artist you ever worked with, and how did it even happen? Was it a DM? Was it a random gig? Was it like a fate? Like,
so I guess it would depend on. Someone else might have a different answer depending on what their definition of like big artist would be.
I would just say big artist to me is like somebody somebody I learned from and listened to.
Okay, so, yeah. Well, so I would say that my like what people would say my like big break first like kind of big opportunity to get on big stages was there's a band from the UK called Neck Deep, and when I covered that Paramore song and it started going viral. Was the drummer at the time, a friend of mine, Danny, he liked the video. And I was like, at the time still, but like at the time especially, I was a huge Neck Deep fan. And I had already seen them a bunch of times, like at like Warped Tour and stuff like that. So when I saw him like it, I remember like a year prior to that, I had been at Warped Tour, saw him there, and I ran into him, and he was, light skinned, kind of looked like me. He had dreads. Like, you could just tell he kind of had that, like, he just had, like, a good energy, you know what I mean? And I remember going up to him, and I didn't have the sax thing going at the time. I didn't have really much going on at the time, but I went up to him, and I was like, bro, light-skinned boys doing it big, you know what I mean? Like, something like that. So I had already kind of been following, like, him. And so I shot him a message when I saw he liked the video, and I was just like, bro, like, I'm such a huge fan. Like, thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it. And he was like, bro, you should do that to one of our songs. And they had just released this song called In Bloom, which is it's their biggest hit for sure. And I was like, sure. So I just like went, covered the song, and then sent him the video. And then he was, they were on tour at the time. So he played it for the rest of the band, and they were like, whoa, and he was like, yo, do you want to come out and play with us on that song in Baltimore at Ram's Head? It's like sold out already. And I was like, hell yeah. So they brought me in, I played it. The response went crazy. The video is on my YouTube channel. Actually, you can see it. And it was so crazy because they still, at the end of the video, the crowd started like cheering my name, and it was so new. They weren't even cheering, like I hadn't even been Saxl Rose yet. They were just saying my regular name. So that's how new it was. Like I hadn't even really like popped as like Saxl Rose yet. So yeah, we just hit it off, and then we kind of formed this like really strange, when you think about it, but like just cool bond between like me and Neck Deep. And I experienced so many firsts with that band. Like they took me to that show, and then I went back to work at a restaurant like the next day, and they called me and they're like, hey, do you want to do PlayStation Theater in New York with us? Just play the same song. And I was like, I'm not coming in to work. Like I just called. I was like, I'm not gonna be there tomorrow. Like I'm going to play in New York. So we did that, and then they were like, and like all this press was there, and like they were getting interviewed by just like, it was just crazy. Like I remember being there and being like, damn, this is nuts. Like I don't even know how I somehow finessed my way into playing sax with this like this rock band.
It was meant to be, man.
Yeah. So then they were like, hey, we should re-record that song, and with an actual, like, put out an actual version of that, like with your sax on it. And I was like, sure. So I recorded that, and then they were like, you should come to the UK with us and we're doing this arena tour, and we're playing like Wembley Arena and Nottingham Arena, and they were like, you should like come out with us. And I was like, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So they brought me out for that, and like I played Warped Tour with them. Like I just experienced so many things with them, and that led to just the formula that I felt like I ended up kind of like developing, which was like cover, the bands that I like and the artists I like, cover their music. Sometimes, most of the time, someone will reach out and then like record with them or perform with them, and then form this like cool relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've done that so many times, and Neck Deep was like really the first band that I felt like just kind of like pulled me up, and were like, this is cool. We want more people to see it. And just like they did so many things that they really didn't have to do for me at all. Like they didn't have to re-record that song. They didn't have to bring me to the UK. Like none of those things had to happen. It just happened, and like they would have been Neck Deep regardless of that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like it helped me so much, but like that led to the Paramore thing, that led to all the other bands, and they were still them. So it just like one of those things I like think back and I'm still like, damn, that was nuts. Like that shit was crazy. So yeah, I think Neck Deep. Yeah, shout out
Neck Deep.
Shout out to Danny, especially because he was the one who like really like saw me and still continues to like support me and the rest of the band as well. So yeah.
Nah, definitely shout out Neck Deep. I said Neck Deep. Neck Deep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, man. So I want you to take us back. Like, when did you know, like, when music was your thing?
Immediately. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, one particular memory, I feel like encapsulates this. Which in first grade, I was going to Magnolia Elementary.
In Edgewood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom was teaching there at the time, so I only went there for like 1 year, but I was in first grade, and they had like a show and tell thing where everyone got to like come, at the end of class, everyone got to like do something. And I remember my dad had his band called Trilogy. They had recorded a CD, and it had 2 songs on it, and I was stoked. I was like, oh man, everyone in the class is gonna think this is so cool. Like my dad's in a band, he recorded this song, it's cool. And I played it, and I remember it so vividly. My teacher was kind of like doing one of these, and I like turned around. I remember looking at the class, and like only a couple people were really like tapped in. It's the end of school. Everyone's like, just like screwing around or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like so just enthralled though by the fact that like I was playing my dad's song. And I remember like something sticking out in my mind of being like, oh, I care about this music way more than like most other people. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the fact that it's my dad. It's like, I think this song's cool, whether or not it was my dad or not. And I was like, even though I'd heard it a bunch of times, I was like still tapped into it like it was like the first time. And I remember just having these moments throughout my life where I'm like, oh, I care about like music way more than the average person. Like even, like my brother likes music too, but even like growing up and just like watching my dad's band, like I feel like I was like studying it when I was watching it. You know what I mean? Like I'm like soaking it all in, like taking everything in while I'm watching it, and just realizing I cared about music way more than like the average person. And I'm hearing things like I'd point something out in a song and someone would be like, oh, I didn't even hear that. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, just like that still happens now. So I just, dude, as long as I can remember, I just care about music.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. Because, I mean, I had kind of like the similar moment. Like, my cousins, they lived in New York. And they were trying to start like a boy, like, you know, back in the 90s, they was trying to start like the boy band with the baggy and the Timbs and all that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they had, I can't remember, my cousin Jeff was sort of cool with, I mean, they compared him to Tony Thompson in High Five.
Got you.
So he really got to meet him.
Yeah.
And I remember he was just telling me, and he was playing me the songs, and I was just like kind of like blown away, like, man, I can't believe this is you doing this. And he was like, man, you can do it too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, you know, life happens. It does. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like, but I do, and then just how into it my grandma was with me, especially. So you know, it's like you said, your dad played one kind of music, and your mom was DJ Lisa. Let's get shout out DJ Lisa. Yeah. So nah, man. So your brother, I didn't know you had a brother.
Yeah.
So does he play anything?
He did. He played clarinet in elementary school, middle school, and high school. And funny enough, he wanted to play the saxophone, and my parents were like, nah, like play the clarinet, because my mom had a clarinet. And then when I was like, I want to play saxophone, my parents
Is he older?
Like, he's older. He's 2.5 years old.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then I like wanted to play sax, and my parents were like, sure. So like he was kind of like mad. Like, he was like, why? Like, but I think like I had just taken to the sax because my dad, like when we'd go see him play, I just remember like he'd be in the hotel room warming up, and he would kind of just be like and show me how to like, you know, play a couple notes and stuff like that. Even though I didn't have any idea what I was playing, but just that familiarity when I was super young. You know what I mean? So I think I kind of already had a knack for it, and my parents just kind of like realized that, and it just made more sense. I feel like going into it, you know what I mean? Of like my brother was young. He went more the military route. Like,
gotcha.
He went to the Naval Academy, studied aeronautical engineering, and like you know got straight A's all through school. And he's stationed in South Carolina right now. He's got a family house.
Shout out to bro too.
Yeah, nah, he's doing great. Like he's a literal beast. He played rugby. Like he's just.
Oh, he's one of them.
He's one of those.
Like, you don't want to mess with him.
Nah, you don't, bro. He's no joke. Like
anybody play rugby, I'm out.
Nah, he's no joke, bro. And he's you know he's a good dude, and he takes really good care of his family and stuff like that. And he's really smart. Like really, really smart. But I feel like, you know, growing up, we were like kind of opposites in that way. We're like, I'm the creative and like kind of seeing like details and things and stuff like that. And he was a little bit more like just, this is what it is, this is what it isn't. Military, don't ask me for help with math because you should just understand it. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But he's awesome, man. But he did play, not as much anymore, but he still loves music a lot. Like he still listens. I send him stuff, and when I'm over at his house, he plays like really good music and stuff. So we both love music for sure. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna have to add you on my playlist as far as like the DJ playlist that I want to start playing. Yeah, because that's what I mean. I just ordered my new deck because I always kind of like had like I never let nobody see me like blend or nothing like that because it wasn't popular. Like if I would do it at a party, let's just say 3 years ago, they'd be like, "Nah, man, play the regular song." Right. I hated doing that. Yeah, I want to put Biggie on the Saxl Rose joint. You know what I'm saying? See how that come out. Oh, that's all they doing. Huh?
But that's funny because my friend that does it now, and he's kind of big time. He was like, "Man, I remember when you was showing me this." And now look, and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, you gotta get back into it."
You should.
Yeah. So I just ordered my deck, but and my daughter's into it too. So, you know, all right, man. So your saxophone, right? Because that's what really intrigued me. I'm like, man, there's a brother playing another. Because the way I got introduced to a saxophone was a friend of the family, Kim Waters. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like I remember when I was younger, and he like, you know what I'm saying, I'd probably be like 4, maybe 5. And I just remember my grandma playing his music.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah. So it was like, and then, you know, I I think I gave Kim chicken pox when I was a baby. I don't know, or something. Like he been around since I was a baby. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yo, what?
Yeah, because he held me.
Oh yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah. Nah, he held me when I was a baby. So I think my aunt said that something like that. But that was the first time I ever seen somebody black playing the saxophone. Yeah. And then when I seen you, I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, man, this is cool. But the thing with you is you know you got two of them. You got two things. So is it like is it hard? Like is it like picking between kids?
Not really. To be honest, I feel like
the sax is
no. It's just like I love them both. It really is. It's similar to like kids, where it's like you love them both equally, but for different reasons. Like, I love the saxophone, and the sax has a very specific voice that I feel like nothing else has. You know, like that's a huge part of my identity is like that voice that I utilize through the saxophone. But the guitar, especially like the best way I can explain it too is like it's almost like how I do in my live shows. If you see me perform live, like I'm playing sax most of the time, but there's like 2 or 3 moments where I pull out the guitar and just rip because it gives the crowd a little bit of like a break from the sax, like that being the voice. It like breaks it up a little bit to where it's like just when you think it's all about the sax, then I'll slap you in the face with like a ripping guitar solo, and then you're like, damn, that was nuts. And then I go back to sax, and you're like, oh yeah, no, you play sax, that's cool. And then just when you forget about the guitar, like something in the show hits, and then you see me pick it up again. So it's like they both serve a very distinct purpose. I'm definitely obviously best known for the sax, but I play guitar a lot too. Like arguably one of my biggest features is on guitar. Like Trap Nap with Wiz Khalifa, like that was off the Saga Wiz Khalifa Deluxe album, and that's a huge feature, and it's on guitar. You know what I mean? Like I have a deal with a partnership with Schecter Guitars, like that I signed on for last year, and I don't think that would have happened without the sax. Like the sax kind of validated all that. Like, but
so it all comes back to it.
It all none of the guitar stuff would be happening without the sax first, because like me playing one of the reasons the guitar is so cool is because I play sax mainly. Yeah, so it's like if I was just a guitarist, it would just be like there's a bunch of people who just play the guitar. Yeah, you know, there's like only a couple people that play the sax and something else. You know, so yeah, I think it. Yeah,
was that the feat? So I do remember vividly where I think it might have been Chevy Woods. It was alive, and he said, "Man, he made that thing go wink, wink, wink." Like, that's a joint?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Listen, Chev, that's the homie right there, bro. He really like helped me out a lot too. I just saw him the other day actually at the show. Wiz was performing in
the porch joint, right?
Well, yeah, that too. He wasn't there actually. That was actually like over like a month and a half ago.
Oh, well.
Where it happened, we just couldn't post anything until the video went live. So that's why you saw that. But I saw him in Jersey. They performed, and Chev, was obviously doing a set and stuff. And yeah, he helped me out a lot, like with that whole situation. So shout out to Chev.
Yeah, no, definitely. I do remember that. Like, because I replayed it. I'm like, what did he say? And then it really do sound like you made the guitar cry in the song. So it was,
had to, yeah.
So all right, so now that you got your, you got your own deal, you got number 3 hit all over, number 1 on the smooth jazz. What's your creative process like? Like what, like in the studio, like what's one thing you gotta, like, man, I ain't doing this until this is here, or I ain't doing this until this is done, or like.
Yeah, I'm not too much of a diva when it comes to that.
Okay, stuff. No, because I'm saying one of my homeboys, anytime he's about to start making a beat or cooking up in the studio, he always got to call his brother.
Okay, yeah, fair.
So
fair.
it's like he I thought
you meant I gotta have
no, like
some all
he'll,
green M&Ms.
Nah. He'd be like he gotta call it, and if his little brother don't pick up, he'll send him a text like, yo, I'm at work.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he'll be like, all right, cool. It's almost like his way of. That's just what they did when they was younger, and he felt like his first big break was because his brother called him.
Okay,
so
fair.
Yeah. So do you got anything like that? You gotta have like. A smoothie or like.
Yeah, I mean the smoothie's cool. Yeah, the smoothie's great. Yeah, I'm definitely super I'm very like sensitive to like temperature, so the room's definitely got to be cool.
Okay, got you.
If I'm like uncomfortable, I just can't like work. I just feel like I can't work at my best if I'm also worried about something else. I feel like my mind has to be completely like clear of anything else for me to really like tap into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but like
No. I think I've heard like
yeah.
You probably done heard crazier stuff.
Things, for sure. But yeah, I'd say that and just like yeah, there really doesn't even have to be a specific vision. Like I feel like half the time I'm just like whatever happens happens. Sometimes something comes out and sometimes it doesn't. And then other times I feel like I lock into this zone where I'm really just thinking, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that, and then like an hour later I'll be like, oh damn, that whole space between I'll try this and I didn't even think about what happened in between and this song's done. Or like I have something really cool. So there's this thing that just happens where it's like I'm just in my mind, I'm just like connecting little dots, not even realizing it. And then all of a sudden like I just have something and I'm like, I didn't even stop to think like, should I do something else? Like I just did the thing. So I don't know, I just having like a real like there's a lot of lights in my room and stuff like that and like my studio area and like I just like it to be dark but like I don't know I just like tapping into that kind of creative space.
No, I definitely like I my new thing now is like I had because of him I didn't need them but I bought them AirPod Pros.
Oh, I got those.
Yeah,
noise canceling ones.
Yeah. Huh?
The Max?
Yeah, I mean the Max. Yeah, the Max. And like I like. I ain't never made 7 beats in one day before.
Yeah.
But I was outside.
Just cooking.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I felt amazing. Like, I was trying to cook up something to them joints I just got.
Oh, the Saxl?
Yeah, but I was like,
yeah.
Man, I'm going to be late.
Yeah,
so I was like, so I was like, man, well, I got them here. And then like, yeah, like I'm really like big on like being able to like I want to come in here and just be left alone. You know what I'm saying? I never really did that. So now that I got them headphones, I probably can start doing that. Cause when I'm home, I got King of the Hill playing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm watching that. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, or like some other video on some doll or something like that. I kind of get lost, and then I end up just watching that, and not even messing with nothing. So
absolutely.
But yeah, nah, man, I definitely appreciate. I even tried to steal a sample from him one time, man. I ain't gonna lie, I can't remember what joint it was.
Man, go for it.
Yeah, but I was like, man, this is it right here.
Yeah,
like this is, you know what I'm saying?
Go for it.
You
bro,
know what?
whatever.
One cover, man, one cover, man, that and I said this listening to the song like 2 weeks ago, even before I hit you up to do this. Lucchini, This Is It, with that saxophone. Woo.
Yeah.
That's it.
That song is tough.
I know you don't usually do like old rap, like.
Oh man, I've definitely done a good handful of like older rap stuff. I mean, obviously, just I mix it up. You know what I mean? Because like I try to do a good blend of like staying current with like a song that's coming out right now. Just because I know like people.
And that's got to be hard for you because you do everything.
Yeah, it is. I have like a super long list of songs that
you have to like. You feel like you have to cover.
Yeah, I like dude. If someone were to look at my notes in my phone right now, they wouldn't like. It makes perfect sense to me. But if someone else looked at it, they would. It looks like a bomb like went off in my notes because it's just like there's like super long lists of things, and then in between those, it's just like little daily reminders of like cover this, this song might be cool, blah. And I'm just like typing like messages to my future self of just like you should do this. So I try to blend. Like even when you scroll down my Instagram, it's like there'll be a handful of songs that maybe are new that just came out that I know people will enjoy, and then I'll break that up with like a freaking Ashanti, or Nelly like throwback just to like, because there are so many people, including myself, who still like the throwbacks and listen to them like they just came out, and I want to pick up those people as well. So and I do that in my live shows too. Like there's new stuff and old stuff, so I really try to like bring people in through that.
All right, man. So tell me tell me how that feel to have a number one on the streaming site on Smooth Jazz and number 3 on Billboards. How's that feel like?
It's nuts, bro. Like it really is nuts, and it's a big deal. Like it definitely is a big deal, and the support has been just nuts. Like everybody, like from Kim Waters to and then having Kayla on the song, his daughter, which is like just made it perfect because like we're both from here, like we're both from Havre de Grace, so that in itself is already nuts. Like you know what I mean? Like 2 people from the same place on the same song, doing the same thing in the same genre is like that's already rare as it is, and to have it do so well is just like super sick. So yeah, it's wild.
Shout out
bro.
Kayla too.
Yeah,
I ain't talked
she's
to her.
dope.
Yeah, I ain't talked to Kayla in a long time.
Yeah, she's dope, man. She's like really, really talented, and she didn't even hesitate. Like when I asked her about the song, like if she was interested in getting on it, she just immediately was like, yeah, sure. Like I got some stuff here, but I'll be able to record it, in like a week, and if that's cool. And I was like, yeah. So she's awesome. Like she's super talented. But yeah, the song is just seeing it move up the charts was super cool because my first single, Alone With You, I released last year, and I think it got to like 78 or something like that on the charts, which for me was like great because I was like, I had never had anything chart before, so to me it was just like it could have been 100, you know what I mean, and I would have been like, that's awesome. But I think like the label was like, obviously wanted it to do as well as possible. And the song was good. Like I thought the song was good. They thought the song was good. So I know they were kind of like, oh man, like, all right, we got to really come with some fire. And
yeah, go ahead and tell them what the name of the song is.
Oh
man.
yeah, it's called Sunset.
Sunset.
Yeah,
Make sure y'all go try. It need to be number one. It's number 3. Go ahead and make it number 1.
Yeah, please. Yeah, it's Sunset featuring me and featuring Kayla Waters, myself on saxophone, obviously, and it came out through my label Next Paradigm. And yeah, I think it's a really, really cool song, and it came from a really good place of just like kind of just slowing stuff down and enjoying what's around you and stuff like that. And I was gonna be happy if it was even if it was 70. I just wanted it to do better than Alone With You.
Definitely got better than 70.
Yeah. Once it hit top 40, I was like, cool, and then it hit top 20, and I was like, damn. And then it hit 10, and it like I just week by week I could see it like moving up, and I just kept getting calls from the label like, hey, like it's 10, and then it was 8, and then it was 4, and then it was 3, and like every week, and we're just like waiting to see like what it does. But to me, like it could drop off today, and I would still be really happy because I didn't expect it to do.
Hey man, you got it. Not everybody can say that. So
yeah,
you know
exactly. That's what they said. They
Yeah.
were like, bro, people like literally record their entire lives and like hope to get somewhere on those charts, and there's been like plenty of smooth jazz artists who have been around for a long time who haven't like reached that. So I'm just like grateful that it did really well, and grateful that people like the song, and to see like the numbers and everything go up, and I get a lot of messages too from people like on YouTube and Facebook of just people like, oh, like I heard this on Sirius XM because they're playing it. Like that's like a huge reason why it's doing so well is because Watercolors on Sirius XM has been spinning it like 2-3 times a day, like just in regular rotation, and it's moving up really fast because of it. And
it's well deserved, man.
Yeah, bro, I appreciate that, man.
It's
like,
well deserved, man.
I'm just happy it's doing well. Like,
all right, man. So look, I'm family oriented, right? So like, you already said what role your parents played in. They're very supportive. Like, did they have like a favorite moment from you? I mean, I'm pretty sure your dad's favorite moment was probably y'all playing together.
Yeah.
But what is like your mom when she got that call from Wiz?
Yeah. Well, one time during the pandemic, Wiz was doing this thing where he was going live, and I'm not saying this is like her favorite moment, but it's a good story. But it was during the pandemic, and me and him had really just started like locking in because it was around a pandemic. We started like working together and talking. And he was doing this thing where he was just like, I'm taking shots with people, like with the homies on live, you know what I mean? So like people from his label and just like random people like Juicy J and whoever, like, and then of course, I seen Wiz on live, I got it requested, you know what I mean? So I like sent the request in, and then he had sent, when the album came out that I worked on, he had sent like a bottle of McQueen that, the company he owns. And I'd already had a couple anyway. But anyway, he was like doing shots, and he was like, whatever everyone has. So then on my phone, it was like, oh, you're now joining Wiz Khalifa's live. And I happened to be at home, and I was with my mom, and I was like, do you want to do a shot with Wiz Khalifa? And she was like, what? Like, and she was like, I'm in my pajamas. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, forget that. Like, I'm like, yo, we got like 2 seconds to do this. So he like gets on there. I'm like, yo. And he's like, yo, what up? And I'm like, nah, we just chilling. He's like, oh, is that mama? I was like, yeah, that's mom. He was like, what up, mama? What's going on? And we literally did a shot like on the spot. And he like, just chopped it up with us for a couple minutes and then got off. And I was like, you just did a shot with Wiz Khalifa, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it was
not
just
everybody
like,
can say that either.
Yeah, it was just like a cool little thing, like, you know what I mean? I've gotten to take her, like, backstage at different shows and stuff like that, like different country concerts and like hip hop shows, and you know, even with Chev, like she loves Chevy Woods, so like I took her to like go meet him, and just like different artists. I've taken my dad to like different smooth jazz shows to meet people and stuff like that. I think like that's like the coolest part for me, is just being able to be like, hey, I'm doing this cool thing. Do you want to come with me? You know what I mean? Whether it's like my parents, my friends, my girlfriend, like whoever. Like I just try to take people along for the ride because this is cool. Like,
you know, it's funny though. When I was in California, they had, you know, you being in California, you could walk by the most randomest spot and they gonna be playing some music. Well, it was like a jazz lounge where my friend I was staying with lived at, and I just, you know, I was like, man, I ain't doing nothing. So I walked in there, man, and just the knowledge while you sitting here talking to these random people, not knowing who they are. You know what I'm saying? But one guy was an executive for Netflix. One guy was something here, and they was just like, yo, you don't even know who that is playing up there, but this is such and such taught him, and it's just like, yo, it was like the craziest experience. Yeah, like it was a crazy, and then it made me think of you, because I'm like, man, the only thing I know about jazz is the homie Sax back at the crib. Like, I'm like, and they was like, yo, they was like, nah, you need to. They was like, you wouldn't believe how like a lot of like musicians come in here that don't do this, come in here and get inspiration from it. And I'm like, I can definitely see why, but I mean, thanks for getting my jazz game up, man.
Bro, it's all good. I'm happy to help, like, for real.
All right, so if you could play one song if you had to play one song for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's hard, ain't it?
It is hard. I don't know if this is it, but it's just the first song that came to mind. And it's kind of random, but there's a song called Ascension by Maxwell. And
can't go wrong, Max.
I play that at a lot of my shows, and it's just one of those songs that it's never not hit. Like I've played certain songs like certain places, and you'd be surprised. Like there are certain songs that you'd think go over, and for whatever reason, like sometimes it just doesn't go over. It just happens. I don't think Ascension has ever not worked, because even people who don't know the song, it just feels good to where like even if you don't know it, you gotta like bob your head to it. I literally have seen people with my own eyes who like clearly don't know that song and have clearly never heard that song, and as soon as that bass line comes in and the drums just like kind of start getting that groove locked, and then I come in, it's just like I've never seen anyone really stand perfectly still when that song comes on, and it's fun to play. It's really fun to play.
I don't think I ever heard it. You ever heard it?
What? Ascension?
Yeah.
Shouldn't I?
Oh yeah, I didn't know what that was called.
That song is tough. Like,
Nah, that's his biggest. Would you say that's his biggest hit?
That's one of them.
The fortunate joint, fortunate to have like
he got listen, it's Maxwell. He got hits like, but that song in particular is so fun on sax to play. You know, some songs you'd be surprised don't translate well to sax all the time, because it sometimes doesn't. Like sometimes like vocals can be really fast, and on sax it doesn't sound that great.
I mean, I always like on instrumentals though. I always felt like there was always a place for it.
Always, but there's certain.
But you
songs,
saying when the voice comes in, it's
sometimes on some songs, because some songs don't always have a lot of melody. Like I do mashups in my shows. Like I'll put like I got one mashup where it goes from like Dilemma by Nelly to this song by Beautiful by Snoop Dogg to the Thong Song. It's kind of like that 2000s like mashup type thing. And I remember my drummer at one point was like, oh, maybe we should think about doing a mashup that has that Spice Girls song in there, that I'll tell you what I want, whatever. And I was like, that's gonna sound terrible on sax. Like that's gonna sound awful. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
Not every song has.
Oh, because you gotta kind of like chase behind
I
them.
have to play that. I have to play that melody, and it's like there is no melody. They're kind of like just speaking it.
Yeah, they're just talking.
You either got to just solo, in which people are gonna be like trying to like catch it because they're like, wait, what's he doing? Or like just don't do it. So that song Ascension has so many great melodies in it. It's just like it's never not worked. So I would probably say if it's not gonna be one of my songs or a song that I'm featured on, like Trap Nap or like In Bloom by Neck Deep or something like that, then I would say Ascension by Maxwell. That song is hard.
Shout out Maxwell. My bad, Max. Yeah. I ain't know the name of the song. I just always know when it come on. I'm
good, brother.
You know. So
yeah, it's a bop.
All right. So what's the weirdest or wildest gig you ever played?
Damn. I think I have two answers to this.
Okay, that's cool.
The first one is I played a gig at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. right?
In Baltimore?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Dundalk. And I had like a residency there for like a long time. Like there was literally I think like a 2-year period where I played there once a month. Like I was there all the freaking time and I was doing all the events there. And it was super cool. Like everyone there was like, you know, super cool and they just like liked the unique performance that I had of like, because it's not often you see a sax player in like bars and stuff like that. And with and I don't think you can all the time, but with my show in particular, because I feel like what I'm doing, especially with shows like that, is I'm kind of like mixing. It's like the best of both worlds between a live band and a DJ set, because I'm like mashing up a bunch of these songs where it's like verse chorus, the most popular part of the song, in a row, and then I'll do like a song, you know what I mean, and then a mashup, and then stuff like that. And it's like songs you would hear at a bar or a club, you know what I mean? So you can dance to it, and that's not normal with sax players. Like it's people hear sax, they think it's gonna be jazz. So we played a show there, and in the middle of the freaking show, like it's already pretty jumping, but in the middle of the show, the door opens. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I mean, like 100 women walk in, like, and I mean like, moms, blonde, you know, brunettes, and like respectfully, like objectively, like attractive women walk in a single file line, and we're playing, and I'm looking at Paul, my drummer. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know, because this is not normal. Like, so they walk in and they're just ready to have a good time, but some of them had this look like they were kind of like, you know what I mean? Like they weren't sure what the vibe was going to be, because I'm a sax player with a drummer, and there's, you know what I mean? So anyway, we started playing, and I went into, I literally, we had a whole different set lined up, and I turned to him and I was like, hey, like we got to do this, and that, because it's jumping. Like there's not even a place to walk. Like it is packed. So we just started doing the hits. Like we had like a whole nother set until we started getting the hits, and I was like, they're here now. We should play the hits now because they might leave. So we just went right to the hits and just start ripping, and they had a blast. So it turns out, right, that the group is called the Big Ass Girls Night. Right, they're a group of women, and they're soccer moms. They're all married, and like once a year or twice a year, they get together. They rent party buses, and they go out on a night on the town, like wherever. So their plan was to go to Jimmy's and then to go to this other spot. And I guess when they got up front, like when they pulled up to the parking lot, the owner, whoever was out there, and they were like, hey, we got Saxl Rose upstairs, and they were like, oh, we don't want to hear jazz, you know what I mean? Like we're here to party, like. So they were like, all right, let's just like have a drink. We're already here, and then we'll leave and hit the next spot. And they stayed. Like they came in so ready to be like, we don't want to hear jazz because it's a saxophone player. But then once they heard my actual set, they had a freaking blast. I got a bunch of videos I can show you after this. It's so funny.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
They were having so much fun.
Just the fact that you, and that's cool that you improvise on the spot like that.
Always, you gotta be ready. Like, and luckily we had the songs, like we had the catalog to do that. But they had such a good time, and since then we have formed this like really strange and cool bond where they've come to like a bunch of my shows after that. They'll play on different nights. They were in my music video for Sunset that I did. They all like came like dressed and ready. They were sitting front row, and they like were in my music video, and they like planned it ahead of time, went out afterward, like, and they're all super nice, and like their husbands were super cool too. And it was just like this weird thing of they came and had totally written off the experience of like, damn, we're not gonna have fun. This is not what we want. We want to hear rock music and a band and like the club hits and stuff. And like they were looking with their eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
which
definitely.
I understand. Like I understand. I knew what I was doing when I picked to play the sax. It still happens now. Like, but once they got in and realized how much fun it was, and like the songs I was playing, like, dude, they had the best freaking time. So that's definitely one of them. That we talk about that all the time. It was so much fun. So
Shout out to what was it called?
The Big Ass Girls Night.
Big Ass Girls Night. Shout out to the Big Ass Girls Night.
Yeah, they were cool. They're the homies for sure. They're awesome. So yeah, that and more on the kind of like crazy side, but I think wild. Like when I played Wembley Arena in the UK with Neck Deep, that was pretty wild because it was a really big deal. I didn't realize how big of a deal it was until like I got there. Like I knew I was like,
is that one of the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I knew it was Wembley, and like this is like a legendary stadium, like arena. But when I got there and I saw like how everyone else was acting, like I was like, oh, this is like a really big deal. Like, and there was a ton of, I mean, it's Wembley. There's a ton of people there, like tens of thousands of people there, and like it was crazy. People go their whole lives with like trying to play venues like that, and I played it like years ago. You know what I mean? So it's
hey
like,
man,
it's why it's wild, bro. It's wild.
Hey man, I salute everything that this young man is doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's kids out there looking up to you, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad because like I'm figuring it out like step by step. You know what I mean? And,
hey man,
and it's cool. Like it's cool to take the time to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I know that now. I wish I had felt a little bit more like that. Like when I was figuring it out. Like I wish my parents were always supportive, but like some of my extended family and stuff like that made me feel like I was doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And just, you know what I mean? Like when you're taking that time to actually figure out what you want to do with your life, which is a really important part, you know, and they put so much pressure on you and like a lot of those comments of like, you know, are you making any money? Like, are you sure the music thing is like what you want to do? And it's like, people don't realize that like comments like that and like.
Yeah, they do. I mean, even when I made that album 2 years ago with my homie Cam, the first thing, and I mean Cam is like a huge deal in Houston. You know, his first placement was Beyonce's Upgrades. You know what I'm saying? Like even when he was like 20.
Yeah,
we made an album, but I just was a fan of him. I reached out to him on Instagram. I was just a fan. I didn't had no thing of sending him beats, but when somebody was just like, well, where's the money at you getting from that? And I'm like, man,
I'm just happy to get it.
I'm just happy to work with somebody like this is somebody that I actually had a playlist on my phone.
Yeah.
Now we gotta, he's been trying to get me. Anytime he can, if he got something going on, he's like, yo, my man made this one, or you know what I'm saying?
People don't understand that though, and like,
that's the more gratitude. Like like Neck Deep bringing you there. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you say that because I had a family member as well. Like I remember it distinctly, and they were like, I was sitting around the table with my family eating, and like. You know, a lot of my family is super supportive. Like, even my extended family, like, they're super stoked, even for stuff like that. And I remember everyone's like, oh, you're playing that show, and you got to do this. That's so cool. Like, I'm glad it's going well. And then one family member was like, yeah, but, like, you're doing all these shows, but, are you making any money? And I'm like, this is the thing that you don't understand is, like, there's, like, this thing, and it exists in the corporate world, too. I don't know why everyone acts like it doesn't. It just looks like the aesthetic looks a little bit different. But, like, that whole thing of networking and connecting with people looks different in this world, you know, than it does over there. So you can maybe go and network and stuff like that and work behind a desk or whatever it is that you're doing and get paid while you're doing that. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But my version of that is going to be like getting the opportunity to play shows and early on not make any money. But what I did with that opportunity is what eventually got me the money, which is like the content of that and the networking opportunities to be like, you know, to be a good hang and to be like just like a cool, easy person to work with and to show my skills on a big stage in front of a lot of people who will in turn then look me up on Instagram and buy my merch and buy my music and support me. Like you can't have really one without the other, especially now. So it's like instead of you going straight to the negative and being like, are you making any money? You know, your question, you first of all, just stop talking.
That's maybe just not a question that we don't need to even talk about.
You don't even need to talk about that, but like you could just be like, that's awesome that you got to play in front of that many people. You know, do you have a plan for, you know, whatever. Like it's like the intent on how you're gonna ask that question. I just wish more people would like understand that like it's okay to take that time to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And to do every opportunity. Like how dumb would it have been for me or anyone in that position to be like, I'm not making any money, so I'm not gonna play at Rams Head to 1,500 people and like, you know, have these 1,500 people now know about me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like that's 1,500 more people that know about you now.
What's the downside? Like, you know, people have missed out on so many opportunities for lack of the short-term bread when they would have had the opportunity to make the long-term bread by like sacrificing a little bit of the short-term bread, which might be at the most gas money to get there and back. Yeah. I'm cool with sacrificing that gas money to get there and back for the opportunity to play in front of a ton of people that could get more eyes on me and make me more money in the long run, but they don't have that long-term vision, so they look at it as like a bad thing, and that's okay because like, you know, I'm making the decision, not you. So like you can do what you do. It's all good.
Yeah, I know one guy I met. He had told me, cause I remember when I went to Cali when my daughter was first born, but I don't really. It was like 2 days and then we came back. We didn't really do anything. Yeah. But the most recent time I had first started going back out there, I remember I was scared because I was like, man, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna either figure out that I never really liked music in the first place, and I ain't making not 1 cent about being out here, or I'ma not even care about the money, and I'm just gonna keep coming out here and seeing what I can, seeing who I can meet and who I can build relationships with.
What you're supposed to do.
And I went out there and I didn't even think twice about no money. I'm like, yo, I could really do that for the rest of my life. Yeah. But I just was glad that I got the opportunity to be like, when people talk about money and they ask me stuff, I'm like, nah, man, but you go out there with that, you're not in it for the long haul. Like you saying you sacrifice, they know that you love it.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, you would do it if you was working regular. Yeah. So it's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, and I think my new thing too, and like I felt it back then, but I just have like a way to phrase it now, which is like I don't take advice, or I don't take critique from people that I wouldn't go to for advice. Ooh. So like, I like that. It's like I don't acknowledge those things, like especially now, like those people could feel the exact same way. Like a lot of my family, like extended family, has like come around and like they're super supportive now, and I appreciate that. But
don't it make you feel does it make you feel kind of weird?
Of course. Okay. Of course, because like I needed it more back then than I do now. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference. Like, and I wish they knew that instead of making me feel, and like and the reason I'm saying this is because you said like you were like, oh, kids are looking up to you, and I've met a bunch of like parents bring their kids out to shows and stuff like that, and like you have no idea how many times this happens where it's like, hey, my son, he's in 5th grade. He just picked up the sax, and like I've showed him a bunch of your videos. He thinks it's so cool. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. And I'm trying to think of like what I can say to him in the moment. You know what I mean? Of like what I would have once said to me if I had like this older dude who played sax. You know what I mean? And I try to think of stuff like that. So the reason I'm saying all that is because like, man, I could have really used a little bit more of that support back then when I felt like I was really trying and like hustling and grinding and like sacrificing things. I really could have used more of the like some people around me, not making me feel like I was doing the wrong thing by just like hustling and trying to take the time to figure it out. I just needed a little bit more reinforcement. Now it's like, I'm in my groove. So whether or not you support it now, it's like,
who cares?
Whatever. But I needed it more back then, and but like I said, I don't accept any critique from people. Like, you've never done this before. You know what I mean? Like,
and you got to put that. You going to somebody that probably wouldn't even have the balls to get up on stage with something they love to do.
Yeah,
so you gotta look at it like that too.
Yeah,
like,
respectfully, because it's like not everyone's cut out to do that. If you want to work behind a desk, I respect, because there's like guaranteed bread in that. There's benefits. I salute anyone like doing that. But I'm saying, as far as the people who were like specifically trying to talk me out of almost like what I was doing, and trying to push me into like more the military route, or you should do this and blah blah blah, instead of like supporting what it was that I was really passionate about. It's like, I don't acknowledge that critique anymore, because you've never tried to do this, so why would I like, what advice would you really have for me in that standpoint, to be like, you've never experienced it, you know what I mean? You went a totally different route, so I could probably still learn from you, but not in that space, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to acknowledge that kind of critique anymore, because like, you've never done it, so I'm doing it, so
Hey, and that you is, man.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm
trying. Nah, man. I know you want to come on here and but you doing a lot for your hometown.
Thanks, dog.
I mean, Aberdeen and Havre de Grace is almost like the same. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Forget Aberdeen. I'm just playing. Nah, you're absolutely right.
I always people thought I went to Havre de Grace.
Yeah.
So I was like, I went to Aberdeen. And they were like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
We remember you and that's just because like I was always at Nitro's house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We definitely were like mixed a lot. Like everyone, like there was a certain point where like I was going to parties and stuff like that back in the day. It was a mix of everybody. Like we were parties, us, Aberdeen, Edgewood, Bel Air, like whoever. Like
it was fun.
It was a good time.
All right, man. So that before we get out of here, I gotta ask you how it was working with everybody you work with. I love, right?
Me too.
I mean, but Chris Brown, how was that? Because I remember that when you played it, and then it.
Yeah. It was super crazy, because again, it was just one of those things. Like, I didn't really have any intention on that going any further than me just doing a cover. Like honestly, but I remember I recorded a cover, and it was No Guidance, and that song is tough. So I recorded it, I just posted it, and just did what I normally did, just like tagged him in it, and then went about my business. Then I was at the coffee shop, Concord Point coffee shop in Havre de Grace, which everyone should go to. It's awesome. A lot of my friends used to work there or currently
Shout
work
out
there.
to the coffee shop in Havre de Grace.
Owner Carl, super cool. Everyone should go there. Anyway, and I don't even drink coffee. It's just awesome. But like, my phone started blowing up, and I was like, "What the hell's?" And it just started going doop 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 doop. And I looked at my phone, and then he had like reposted it, and I was like, "That's cool." You know what I mean? Because he's got like however many million followers. So the video started doing really well. People start commenting, and I remember in my head, like I do this with everything. Like, if there's an opportunity, if there's something that's happening, I'm trying to like squeeze as much of I don't want to ever look back and be like, man, I could have just did a little bit more. Like, so I do that with concerts, right? If I play a show, let's say I play at Ram's Head with one band, I'll like go to Instagram, go back to the location on Instagram, and find all the videos that everyone took, whether it's of me or not, and just like either like it or comment on it. Like, because you never know. I've done that so many times, and people have been like, oh, dude, you're the guy who played the sax. I have a video of you or whatever. So I kind of did the same thing with the Chris Brown thing, where it's like every person who commented on my thing, even if it wasn't directed at me, like I just went on there and just said either just like thank you or like, hey, like give me a follow. I post videos like this all the time. You know what I mean? Or like send him a message, whatever. And it took days because like his thing was just like, it just didn't stop. You know what I mean? Like that video went nuts. Like it was my first video that hit like 100,000 on YouTube, and it just like did a bunch of really cool stuff. So I did another one like I think like a month later, and he saw it again and shared it again, and I was super hyped. I was like, damn, this is cool. And then his MD reached out to me. It was like, hey, like Chris is about to go on this tour. We really like what you did with this song called "Girl of My Dreams," and he was like, would you be down to record the sax for it? So he's not taking a band out, but he wants to still do live instruments in the track. So would you be down to record some sax for that song? And I was like, yeah. So did it, and we worked out a deal as far as like, what that was going to look like for me. And recorded the sax, sent it, and then every night of that tour, like I was just able to see videos and hear my sax like with Chris, and it was just super cool. Like
shout out Chris Brown, man.
It was cool. Like I'm any opportunity that I can to like play to do what I love. Like I'm never gonna like turn down anything from just I love what I do. I love playing music, and it's like that made sense to me.
So I was working with Jelly Roll.
That was cool. Jelly Roll was another dude who and this goes back to even what I was saying about like taking the time to figure it out and then networking, because you just never know who is gonna do what. When I was playing with like all the rock bands and stuff like that, there was a band called Sleeping with Sirens, and I had collabed a little bit with their lead singer and stuff and done like a cover, and a couple of the guys saw it, and one of the dudes named Jack was playing guitar in that band. He saw it, we kind of talked. And I remember he sent me a message, I think during the pandemic, I feel like, and he was like, yo, I'm not with Sleeping with Sirens anymore, but I'm playing with this artist named Jelly Roll, so I gotta somehow get y'all to connect. And at the time, I was like, I don't even know who the hell Jelly Roll is. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Like, so I was like, all right, man, just let me know. Wrap around 2023, Jelly Roll plays Sunday in the Country at Merriweather Post Pavilion, same place I played with Paramore at. So there's 20,000 plus people there. And Jack hit me up and was like, yo, like, coming to Maryland, I know you're from out there, like, bring your sax. No promises, but I'm going to try to make this happen for you, And I was like, cool. So I showed up with the sax, they got me in, and then I met Jelly backstage. And I just distinctly remember, I always like to get a plan together as far as what I'm going to do on stage. The only time that really didn't happen was like Paramore. Like, they just sent me out there, and whatever happened, happened. There was no plan. But with Jelly, I asked him, I was like, yo, what are you thinking for the song? The song was Need a Favor, and it was like his big hit at the time. And he was like, no plan. Like, whatever happens, like, let's just wing it. You know what I mean? Just find your spots. You'll know what to do. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right. So, like, just went out there and ripped. And it was so sick, bro. And again, wouldn't have happened without doing the band stuff first, because Jack and that whole thing, like, it just, you never know who's going to play with who.
You never know you don't know who know anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't know who's gonna be the one making the decisions either. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you never know. Imagine if it would have just gone differently. If I would have, I don't know, I treated him bad for whatever reason or something like that. Like, that opportunity what you just never know. So it's
Yeah.
like treat people right, be kind to everyone because you just don't know who's gonna be in what position. But playing with Jelly Roll was awesome. And his team was super cool. He was awesome. He's a really hardworking dude, and he's mad normal too. He's like just a regular dude. So yeah, it's cool.
All right, so let me get one question in. So, my wife and I were big in the youth space, have an impact there, trying to give them some kind of confidence, some kind of support, direction. Before life beats them down, telling them all the stuff they can't do.
Before life starts lifing.
Yeah. So, can you speak on L's that you might have taken? Still to navigate, fight through, little resilience, perseverance.
Yeah.
That's just got you where you are now.
Yeah, I think not to give like an overly like philosophical answer, but I think that the L's, to me, you gotta like reframe what an L actually is, because when I look back and I think about things that seem like an L at the time, it's like, if it helped you, it's not really an L. You know what I mean? An L to me is just something that if it didn't help you, then I guess that's an L. But I interned at a record label / management company called Outer Loop in 2016. And I'd been going to this conference with my friends in the band I was in. It was called Launch Music Conference in Lancaster. And I had been meeting all these people, and this dude named Mike Mowry, I kind of connected with him in a way. He just seemed like the guy. Like, every time he spoke at these conferences, I'm like, man, he just knows his stuff. He works with all these bands I like. His aura just seemed like, this is the guy I need to talk to. I don't know what it is. I need to talk to him. And I just made a good impression on him, and he ended up having me come intern for him. Mm-hmm. Now, in the long run, at the time, when I thought about it, I did the internship, did it for like a handful of months, never got paid, and it was in Silver Springs. I was driving from Havre de Grace to Silver Spring 3 days a week, paying for parking, paying for eating it. Yeah. No money whatsoever. Now, if you were to ask somebody, and nothing really came from that directly. Like, I didn't get offered a real job, none of that. So if you were to ask, someone in my family at the time or someone else on the outside, they'd be like, that's an L. Like, you didn't get anything from it. But I personally feel like I got a ton from that experience. I went in there and I learned about, geo-targeting, social media ads, and, how to interact with the band, how things happen in the offices as far as taking meetings, and how to put a team together on to get on one page, you know what I mean? And what I was willing to sacrifice to get knowledge, you know what I mean? That's me personally. Someone else might not have been in the position where they even have that option to do that, and I think that's probably a lot of the case. People might not have the money to be I'm gonna go and drive to Silver Spring 3 times a week for no paper and pay for parking and pay for lunch.
And parking too?
Yeah. We didn't get any sort of nothing. So I understand that, and that's a whole different position. So I'm not really speaking about that, because if you don't have the option to do that, you don't have the option to do that. Me personally, I was working at a restaurant and I was just sinking all my money into
the dream.
The dream.
Deposits into the...
And part of that dream was to gain knowledge. Even now, signing to a record label was the next step for me. But I'm also trying to figure out how all this works. And there's no better way to figure out how all this stuff works than throwing yourself in it. I don't know how radio works, so I need to figure out how radio works. I don't know how it is being signed to a record label. I'm going to sign to a record label. You know what I mean? This is the next step. So at the time, I didn't have any connects. I just knew that the connects were over here. I can see them, they're over here, and I need to get over there. Mm-hmm. So the best way I can get over there, even if I got to do it for free, is to get over there. And this guy is telling me that he'll bring me in. So, I mean, what more do you want? You know what I mean? It's
you learned from it.
That's
so
it.
Yeah.
So it's but I think some people would look at that and be like, damn, you took L, you didn't really get anything from that. You know what I mean? Financially, and they're right. I lost money doing that, for sure. But I feel like I gained it all back at some point, and I feel like I'm still using the things I learned from that experience right now, actively.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I think the L is just whatever you deem the L to be. You know what I mean? I've missed, I've done videos and stuff like that I put a whole bunch of time into and was man, this is gonna do something, and then put it out. Nothing happened. Nothing. So is that now? Sure. Have I played shows before that maybe I expect a little bit more attendance? And sure. But I played the show, you know what I mean? It's I did the video, I showed people someone saw it, you know what I mean? So what's the L really? If you don't learn from it, that's the L to me. Is you did something and didn't learn from it. Everyone makes like mistakes in their lives, like whether that's professionally or outside. But like I've tried my best to learn from like every misstep or what I thought was a misstep, and like I feel like I'm better for it. So I don't know. I don't really think about it like that. I just like try to learn from everything.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I think a lot of people can. I mean, shoot, I can grow from that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Nah, but man, I want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart, man, for coming on here, you know, with your busy schedule, your busy ass schedule.
Nah, man. It's
and like
cool.
I said, man, he got the #1 hit. Go ahead and make sure y'all stream that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sunset.
Sunset. Make sure y'all go stream that. He got some shows coming up in Maryland. Make sure y'all go support my man.
I do, yeah. I got Havre de Grace Wine and Jazz Fest on August 9th. I don't really play in Havre de Grace like that anymore, like once a year pretty much at this point, other than maybe like a pop-up here and there. But as far as like getting booked, like especially in Harford County, like once a year at this point. So that's the one. If you want to come, definitely come to that.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I don't know when this episode will be out, but hopefully before then. If not, and you missed it, I don't know what to tell you. But it was that, and yeah, just check my schedule, saxlroseofficial.com. All my tour dates are on there, and my music's on there. My everything, my work with inside the music industry and the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, and like just a bunch of cool stuff like that. You can check all that out. So yeah.
Yeah, make sure y'all follow him on Instagram.
Yeah,
all the sites, and like I said, man, this was a wonderful episode. And like I said again, I appreciate you, bro.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm happy. Like I'm just happy to be in the mix, and anytime you call and I can, I will. That's always I say that all the time. If I can, I will. So yeah.
Well, it's another episode of Whatever Trevor. My man Saxl Rose, the guy, and we'll see you again. And remember, we all going whatever you want, you can get it.